Hey there everyone, this is Maria Young and I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another orchid adventure. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh! I'm just so excited. I cannot believe what happened to me today. I had an experience of a lifetime, something that I could never believe could actually happen to me, folks. Just happened! And of course I had to share it with you. Okay, so let me begin by giving you a little bit of a backdrop of what exactly happened. Today I decided to go on a garage sale hunt because I definitely wanted to find some things for my orchid. I wanted to start having some very decorative, creative containers for them. So that was my initial purpose, and I did find that. As a matter of fact, here is one. I found this umbrella container, which is actually an antique. They don't make things like this anymore, folks. And as you can see, there's many holes in here. So actually it's very good for aeration. Woo! That was hard. For your orchids. And I'm thinking, you know, perhaps I could have an orchid in here that could cascade its blossoms over this wonderful lace-like appearance of this container. Also, maybe a vanda would look very pretty in here as well. I mean, you can go in so many directions with this. Also, I found a very unique find, folks, which is this right here. And I actually didn't know what it was other than it says Jim Beam on here. So definitely I knew it was some sort of liqueur container. And I asked the lady that was selling it, you know, did they actually sell this like this back in those days? Because oh my gosh, it's so decorative. I would never imagine that this was a liqueur bottle. I mean, if this was not here and you could read the actual, you know, label of what it was, I would have thought it was just a very nice decorative piece. But what she had told me is that they actually had these out back in the 1950s is when this came out. And they only made these on commemorative times and special occasions. So what this was is really made for people to gift these, also made for more of the wealthier folks and the collectors. So that was really amazing to me to have a liqueur bottle this decorative. And then the surprise of that, folks, is that the seal is intact. It has never even been opened before, and you can shake it up and you can hear the actual Jim Beam liquor in here. Isn't that phenomenal? Anyway, so back to the subject at hand though, folks. So I went to an estate sale. And you know, folks, I just absolutely had to purchase this, even though this was $10, and that's a lot for me to spend at a garage sale, $10 on one item like this. But I had to get this because I have never, ever seen this before, and I can tell you, I have years and years and years of experience in garage sailing, okay? My career in garage sailing actually started when I was, I think, at the age of 5. How does one start at the age of 5, you ask? Well, I got a great answer for you. My mother, dear, who is such a precious woman, I must say. No, but for real, she is a precious woman. She has been a garage sailor like forever and ever and ever. And the only problem with that was that she always wanted to have someone to accompany her. Yeah. I was the very unfortunate, tortured victim that was forced to go every single weekend. And it really started getting bad when I became a teenager. Because, contrary to popular belief, I don't care what you say about me, I did have quite a reputation. I wasn't always this orchid geek that you know right now, okay? But, yeah, I was mortified. I mean, I was traumatized. I really felt almost as if it was a reoccurring nightmare for me, because the most hideous thing that could ever happen in a teenager's life, of course, is to be discovered by your peers. And who wants to be discovered that they are secretly a garage sailor? Okay, not me, not me. And I definitely did not need the whole entire school saying, Maria is a yard sailor, Maria is a yard sailor. Definitely did not want that, folks. So yeah, that was a reoccurring nightmare for me. But again, I have never ever seen anything like this, so definitely had to get this purchase right here. So after I got my most precious finds, as I was exiting the premises, I happened to see that in their yard there was all sorts of plants. So of course I had to ask, was she selling any plants or willing to sell some plants? And she said that she would be willing. And as a matter of fact, she had some bromeliads that if I was willing to pick them, I could have them for $1. Now, as you guys know, for a good sized bromeliad, $1 is a very good price because they normally start from $12 and up. So for $1, oh yeah, this gal right here is willing to pick it. And that is exactly what I did. Now, while I was exiting the yard, I happened to notice something that was in a bush, deep within a bush as a matter of fact. And if I didn't have my keen plant sensors like going off here, I would have never noticed it. But I did have those sensors going on and I did notice it. I mean, I cannot believe what I found underneath that bush. And what is more spectacular than what I found is actually that I was able to get it at the price that I got it for. Unbelievable, unheard of. So folks, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I found. Do you guys wanna know? I know you guys wanna know. What I found was, wait a minute, hold that thought. I'm actually gonna give you some footage of the actual experience. Hold that thought. And this is a sale that I'm going to. I just wanted to take you on a wonderful orchid adventure today. I found such a great find. Came to a garage sale, and like I always tell you guys, you never know what you can find. As you can see here, there are bromeliads. And I asked a very nice lady that had a wonderful garden if she was, willing to give up some plants, and she said that if I was able to just simply dig them up, I could have them. And this was the wonderful bromeliad patch where I was able to actually dig up some bromeliads. So these bromeliads were actually $1 each, and you guys know I am a bromeliad fan. And guess what? Underneath a bush was this huge, massive, what appears to be a cattleya, just growing, almost bare rooted underneath a bush. And I got this for $5. I am such a happy camper right now. Again, I always tell you guys, yard sales are a perfect place to find great treasures. And indeed, today, folks, I found a great treasure. So happy. Okay, folks, and here we are. This is my great orchid find of the day. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. This absolutely just takes my breath away. This is absolutely ridiculous. When I carried it, I mean, it's probably about like 20 pounds, okay? I mean, this is how huge, and I don't even think the camera can capture just how massive this cattleya is. But wow, folks, I mean, can you believe it? And can you believe that I got this at $5? I mean, look at the leaves on this cattleya. Oh my gosh. And the pseudobulbs are really huge. And of course, this hasn't gotten probably any watering during the winter season. But yeah, the stem on this thing, or sorry about that, the pseudobulb is really long. And I imagine once you start watering it, it's going to get so plump. I don't know what type of cattleya this is, but folks, if you guys do or think you have a clue of what it could be, please share that with me. All I can say though, folks, is while I'm looking in here, I mean, the place where the stem would come out is actually pretty big. So I'm assuming that the actual blossom of this cattleya is pretty huge. If you look at this plant, I could more than likely get 10 or more divisions if I wanted to. out of this plant. Of course, I'm not going to do that because no way. No way. I mean, for a specimen of a Cattleya to get this huge would take years and years and years. So to get something this huge and then to break it all up just to have the same plant, no way. And as you can see, folks, this is still in recovery mode because we are coming out of our winter season. So of course this has not been getting the watering. And wait a minute, let me scratch that. To be honest with you folks, I don't know when the last time this orchid had really been cared for. Okay, because as I stated before, this orchid was actually abandoned totally. Okay, if you've seen what a muck I had to go through to get this out of the soil and all sorts of tree debris, you would know that it had been sitting there for years and years and years. And actually this wire basket, I found a chain, so I'm assuming this is a hanging basket. And what more than likely happened is this was hanging up somewhere and it fell behind a bush. And you know what I would imagine, like I said, it was so intertwined and other things that if I hadn't been looking so hard, I would have missed it. Well, this fell behind that bush, and more than likely they didn't even know it was there. Okay, which brings me to another story, which is really amazing, folks, because as you guys know, we can get quite technical with how we take care of our orchids. And this right here has been experiencing years of neglect underneath a bush with no human contact. And I'm assuming this by the condition that it's in, but with no form of contact. And yet, look, this flourished and thrived in nature under its own terms, guys. Okay, and of course, you know, I mean, it's very, very healthy for the condition it was in. I mean, how I found it, but I really have to doctor this up because there are some dead pseudobulbs here. And also, if we take a closer look, there's some dying ones here as well. And if you mush it, you'll feel all that guck inside of it, and I definitely don't want to promote any type of fungus or bacteria growth that would harm this plant. So I'm going to take this all out. And of course there's dead roots through here, but also check out the masses of the healthy root. I mean, this is bare root, guys. Totally bare root. There is no type of media in here at all, none, other than perhaps the debris of leaves that have fallen into here. And you know, one of the great things that I discovered about this is there is so many new growths in here, and I haven't even discovered all of them. You know, I am the nosy collector orchid grower. I have to pick at the sheath that is actually on the plants, not because I think it's untidy and it just makes the plant look like it's unkempt, but really because I'm just nosy and I want to make sure that I find all of the new growths. Speaking of which, if you look, just new growth here, there, and everywhere. Yeah, they're throughout this entire orchid plant here, this mass of Cattleya. So that tells me that there's all sorts of leads. So therefore, new growths and blossoms will come from here, there, and everywhere. And once I get this to bounce back, oh my gosh, I can only imagine how beautiful this can become. And this is going to be my prized orchid right here. And I wish I knew what it was. And you know what? To be honest with you, if I really dig deep, I wouldn't be surprised if I did find a tag in this mass. I mean, oh, well, then again, that could be a blessing and a curse, I guess, because, again, you can never tell what you can find in this mass. Oh my gosh. But yeah, and taking a closer look, guys, I mean, this is the wire basket right here, okay? Now look at how overgrown this has become. Way above that wire basket. These masses of roots and pseudobulbs that have completely grown above that wire basket. It's just so crazy. I don't have a space huge enough for this. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's just so massive. But what I'm thinking, guys, is that I may actually go into this tree right here, and excuse me, pardon me, orchids, excuse me, pardon me, but I am coming through. But right here, guys, I am actually literally thinking of taking this other huge, massive area right here that has all of my radicans, my epidendriums right here that are growing rather well. I don't want to take it out, but for my prized orchid, I would. The only thing that I'm thinking, though, folks, that that really concerns me is the fact that if I place that orchid in the center of this tree where I think that it'll just flourish like crazy, is the fact that it has a massive root system, and I do believe it will secure itself for dear life in this tree. So if I put it in this tree, then more than likely I will have to keep it in this tree because I would not be able to take it out without harming or destroying the plant. So yeah, that's something that I have to think about, folks. But anyways, that doesn't take away my joy of getting this phenomenal specimen of an orchid. Oh my gosh, I just can't get enough of this Cattleya love. Okay, folks, and I thank you guys so much that you would tune in to yet another orchid adventure with me, Maria Young. And also, I want to let you guys know that if you have never tried going to garage sales before, you definitely should give it a try, because you can find almost anything and everything, and always the least expected finds are at the garage sales, as you have seen here, folks. So definitely give it a try. And of course, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs way up. And of course, if you want to see more videos such as this, please be sure to subscribe, because I always post all of my orchid adventures right here. That's right, you've made it at the right time and the right place. Thumbs up, subscribe. Ta-da! Thumbs up, subscribe. That has been it, and this is all, folks. Thank you so much. This has been Maria Young. Ta-da! And of course, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to post them as well, because I always love to hear from you, and you.